So I really didn't want to like this device, guys. Seriously, I mean, I go into every review, whether it's games, tech, or even movies, as really unbiased as possible because I have to do a good job presenting my thoughts and my opinions to you guys without any of kind of the outside crap. But with Xbox's constant stream of just bad news lately, I mean, there's price hikes to the consoles, there's price hikes to Game Pass, which I've been a subscriber since day freaking one. And then there's this weird, confusing strategy around the launch of this thing. I mean, they held the price back just until maybe like, I think 2 weeks before release, letting people know that this thing is $1,000 freaking dollars, and also naming it the Xbox Ally X, which is pretty confusing if you ask me. Besides price, I mean, we have a confusing name for any normies that are just like not in the gaming space to understand these things. And also $1,000 kind of makes it one of the most expensive handheld PCs on the market. The journey here, guys, it was long, but I mean, after I think a couple months now with the device, this is a very, very late freaking review, man. I mean, I had a newborn and just things have been crazy here. So, you know, bear with me, but I really feel like I actually have a lot of testing done on this thing, man. I have been playing the hell out of it during that paternity leave. I think I'm finally ready to just let you guys know whether this handheld PC, not console, guys, is worth that $1,000 price tag, or if it's something that you should just skip out entirely. To give you guys just some context on the device, first I want to give you guys my thoughts on, you know, basically what it is. It is considered technically a follow-up to the ROG Ally X, somewhat. And I did a previous review on the ROG Ally X. I actually really liked it in comparison to the original white Z1E, I think is what it's called, ROG Ally, which was something that I previously owned. Ended up returning it just because of like the quality issues on there, man. My speakers were busted. It was eating those, you know, memory cards with the overheating issues. And it was just something I didn't really want to deal with, guys, despite like honestly really good performance. If you haven't noticed by now with my channel, I love handheld gaming, man. I find myself playing these a lot more than my freaking PC, man, which is a beast. But being a new dad, having a full-time job, and I mean, not to sound like a freaking average Redditor, as a full-time dad, you know, with 7 kids and 3 cats, handhelds are really how you play when it comes to gaming. But, you know, scrap all that bullshit aside. I'm a new dad. It's hard transitioning, man. You feel like with a newborn, you don't have that much time for yourself. And seriously, man, this thing was a lifesaver. It really was a lifesaver. It's a way for you to just like be able to play games without sacrificing time, and you're not this hermit that's like away in your office, right? I mean, you're there. I've got images I might slap on. I mean, I can have my child on my chest, right? My daughter just on my chest, and I'm just hanging out here playing Arc Raiders, man. And it was awesome. And she's a freaking heavy sleeper, so the sound and all that kind of just didn't matter. I've said this before in other videos. Sometimes after a long day, especially if you work at a desk, man, and you're just there looking at a screen all day, the last thing I want to do is sit in front of another screen at another desk. I'd rather sit at a couch and just lay down and play on a much smaller screen. Talk about that later. But I do have a PlayStation Portal, which lets me stream PS5 games, a Steam Deck OLED, which is basically, I would say, a lower powered version of this Xbox Ally. And now I've got this Xbox Ally X. I ended up returning the ROG Ally, again, like I said, because that console broke on me. And I did return the Ally X, not the Xbox Ally. I've still got this one. But I did get an amazing deal on that. It was an open box, and Microsoft came out like, I think a week later, saying that they're doing like a partnership with the handheld. It would have better ergonomics, better battery, new Z2 processor. Full transparency, guys, full transparency. I really regret returning that device, considering that the Xbox Ally X ended up having a price increase. And then on top of that, they increased the Ally X's price. I'll post what it is. And then they basically discontinued it when this thing came out. So if you do have the Ally X, right, not the Xbox One, the Ally X, I'm going to have to put pictures, man, to make this easier because I'm getting confused. Keep it. That's spoiler alert. You don't need to go all the way to the end of the video. My advice, keep it. So let's just jump right in and get started and go over what changed with the features, what's changed with the whole upgrade / refresh here that happened with the whole Microsoft branding. Side note, if you notice, mine looks different. Looks kind of cool here. I've got the skins and kind of these grips. D-brand, guys. D-brand. This is the kill switch case. It comes with a couple free skins. Just shameless plug right here, man. amazing. I'm going to buy one for my Switch too. This is kind of my first purchase here from them. And honestly, man, game changer with the whole, like, what is this thing? Kickstand. You can actually put like a memory card right here for storage if you want to keep it for safekeeping. But yeah, honestly, guys, worth the price. I picked it up during the whole Black Friday thing, but I'd pay full price, man. I don't care. So right away, what I noticed was going to be the weight on this thing. It's not that much heavier from the OG Ally X, but it like 1.58 pounds versus 1.49 pounds. I mean, it's a little heavier. For me, it felt a lot heavier because I play my Steam Deck just a lot more. I don't know the weight off the top of my head, but you do have these ergonomic handles. This is basically like one of the biggest selling points. So it does give it that extra comfort, right? And it gives it kind of like that PS Portal vibe. It's a lot more comfy in comparison to the Steam Deck and the original Ally X. I mean, it basically right now, guys, it feels like a freaking Xbox controller. And I mean, other than the handles, you're not really going to notice that much of a difference in comparison. You're going to notice that you've got these 2 USB ports. I mean, it's nice for docking and being able to connect a charger. The on button turns it on. It's got a thumbprint reader just like the previous model, which logs you into Windows. The speakers are actually pretty loud. I think they are better than the previous speakers. I mean, I keep them pretty low at like 6 or 8 sound, but I can hear everything, man. I even hear footsteps. And then you've also got RGB here around the thumbsticks, which you can customize. I basically have them turned off. It's just, it kind of gets in my way. But, you know, for anyone that wants to add like skill to like your gaming, you have to have RGB, right? It just makes you better at whatever you're playing. So it's there for you. And then the most controversial thing here, same exact 7-inch 1920 by 1080p IPS screen. So sadly, price increase, still no OLED. The upgrades from the Ally X, besides the whole handles right here, would be that Z2 Extreme on the inside versus the Z1 Extreme, which later on, man, I'm going to be showing you guys the impact because others have done a lot more extensive testing with both consoles. I don't really have both consoles, but fancy charts and things like that, I'll post those up for you guys so you could see. But just so you know, it does have the most up-to-date CPU, but that doesn't mean much. So let's jump into arguably, I would say, the worst part about getting one of these handheld PCs in comparison to a Steam Deck, right? Setting this thing up took a couple hours. I'm gonna time lapse it right here because my camera almost died. Don't be fooled with the confusing Xbox branding too. It's not a portable Xbox console. It is a portable PC. Think a laptop, right? Without the keyboard and everything like that. It's basically the previous ROG Ally X, but Xbox kind of just slapped their brand on there, and they also included something called an Xbox full screen experience, which is, by the way, it's already here. You know, it's coming to all the previous handhelds. You could basically just update it and download it. I'll talk experience later, but for any first-time users, man, it is a jarring and long experience. You got to sit through setup. You got to get OneDrive. You got to deal with the updates from Windows. You get updates from ASUS. You get updates from AMD. And then finally, you're able to use this freaking device. This easily can take a few hours. And that's not even counting just how long it takes to download some games to the device. And I mean, this is where I really wish Microsoft just did a little more than just slap on that branding, right? And the full screen experience to the handheld. I knew going in that this is a PC handheld. I didn't think it was an Xbox, right? Even though, according to so many open box ones, just quite a bit, right? The naming and marketing is pretty deceptive. But Microsoft, you guys create freaking Windows, man. Why can't you give us a better experience for users? I mean, the updates could have just been consolidated maybe in just one place, maybe just some kind of like streamlining. I just feel like people opened it and tested it out and we're like, well, this is what it is. And, you know, I mean, it could be better, right? It's like you guys are kind of jumping into a handheld space and it was pretty half-assed. I mean, you could basically use the device without having to touch Windows, which is really cool, but it's not going to run well without the crucial Windows updates, which casual users just aren't going to know this, right? Like, I mean, I didn't even know until I jumped into the whole Windows experience, took a look and just saw the updates. And by the way, you got some bullshit there from Microsoft as well. And you've got a bunch of bullshit Windows updates that will honestly sometimes brick this thing. And quick experience, man. I've had it since September, I think, when it came out, or October. I think, yeah, since October, since it came out. And I was supposed to make a review within the first few weeks. Baby was born. My time was cut short. And I'm glad it was, because one of these updates like basically bricked my freaking system. I was playing Arc Raiders at like 80 to 90 FPS, having a good time, jumping into PvP, right? And here and there, like I was not afraid to get into PvP. An update here just turned on some weird shit in ASUS for me, and it ended up like basically tanking my FPS to like 40. And what was happening was that my device was lagging, and I thought it was maybe my internet, right? And I was just going crazy trying to figure out what's going wrong with my internet. Why is my Wi-Fi like this? How come, I was able to go up like 30 freaking levels, and now it's like I can't even extract, right? I get shot at by someone, good freaking luck. There's no freaking way I'm surviving. It was a pain in the ass. I ended up finding out that there was some chill mode thing enabled on here, turned that off and fixed it. So you will notice owning this device, right? If you're a PC user, you're probably used to this, right? NVIDIA drops an update and just messes with your frames. Microsoft has a bunch of bullshit also installed, like Teams and things like that. So you're going to go in there and have to uninstall everything. Again, PC users, right? Like PC users like us, I mean, we're freaking used to it, but this is scary for someone that's not. This is scary for someone that's just like looking for a console-like experience. Anyway, so now that this thing is updated and set up, I want to go into the full screen experience and let you know kind of what buttons here were added to help streamline it. First off, you've got this big Xbox button right here. And what happens is that it's going to give you a mini menu. You've got the home, you've got a command center, settings, friends list, all that kind of stuff. It's like hitting the Xbox button on a console. You can launch any recent games or apps. You can hit the library. I think it's a good button. It makes basically all the other buttons useless and basically just occupies more space and has you just fuck up and hit the wrong things sometimes. With select being underneath whatever these two boxes are, I don't know, man. On the right side, you have the vertical rectangles. This takes you basically to like the apps and games. And the bottom one is the start button. I hate the positioning here, guys. I've constantly opened up my apps instead of start. Is it faster to basically pull up Armory Crate with that dedicated button? Yeah, but I really don't mind hitting the Xbox button and scrolling left to get there. I prefer that over accidentally opening up a bunch of apps, trying to get to my map in Arc Raiders, for example. It's just bit me in the ass too many times. We really could have minimized this, man. We could have just made it a lot more just easier. For anyone that does own a PC, that Xbox full screen experience that they've added is basically a streamlined version of the Xbox app on PC. You're going to have the games that you could jump into, as well as ads for new games, modern gaming, right? And constant just pushes to upgrade your Game Pass. If you're on Game Pass, you could stream from the cloud or download games natively to this device, despite being forced to stream on devices like the Steam Deck, right? Microsoft, by the way, just makes another fumble here, in my opinion. I mean, they don't even give you a month of the highest Game Pass tier. They give you that middle subscription that doesn't include any of the new stuff like COD. So yeah, $1,000 and they don't add a case or even that, by the way. Anyways, you're going to notice that all of your games are going to be in the Xbox experience despite being on the other launchers. So all your Steam games, they're going to be right there in the Xbox experience. It's basically Microsoft's version of the Steam Deck's OS that's called SteamOS. It gives you more of a console-like experience despite, having Windows on there and just hidden updates and all of those Windows quirks and things that are going to get in your way. But either way, after some time with the Xbox experience, I did walk away a little bit underwhelmed, but it has gotten better with the updates. It does what you want it to do, but it's also nothing crazy. It's nothing to write home about. I prefer it over launching and being in Windows, just like the past ROG Ally X or ROG Ally. It's not like a huge selling point. It is coming to all the systems. So, I mean, it's good, but it's not just like amazing. But I do see the potential in it being really, really nice, especially when they make it kind of console-like. Xbox looks like they are making like a PC console hybrid, kind of like the Steam console or whatever is coming out. I forget the name, but yeah, it looks like it's just getting there, guys. And I mean, there's been constant updates that have been helping. So yeah, 2-3 months into owning this device, it is a little bit different than like my first thoughts on it. And then just a quick note on the games, you can actually install some Xbox games here. So there are games like Resident Evil 2 and Hogwarts Legacy that are technically these play anywhere titles. You can basically download them and play them here, technically turning this into an Xbox handheld. And I own a ton of Xbox games, guys. I had a Series X, but unfortunately, not all of them are play anywhere titles. I could technically cloud stream them, which is cool, but you need to basically have some kind of subscription to Game Pass for that. I think the middle one is fine, but I would love to be able to download my entire Xbox library here with the whole Play Anywhere feature. And I really, really pray, man, that they add more games to that list in the future, because that would be a freaking game changer, guys. So I spent a lot of time talking about that full screen experience, just the whole route here, guys, but I want to get into the meat and potatoes, and it's the reason you bought this, and that is gaming. I'm going to be showing some comparisons here to the Ally X when it comes to performance that other people have tested only because I returned mine, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from when it comes to my opinions. So let's set the stage here. The original ROG Ally X with the Z1, no handles, is about 20% worse, I would say, than this handheld. There's some testing that people have done on Cyberpunk. You could see here at medium settings, FSR 3, which shout out Digital Foundry. Check out the video for the real in-depth specs. Cyberpunk's hitting about 47 FPS versus the 58 FPS on this Xbox Ally X. The Z2 chip on low 17 watt mode has a higher performance benchmark than the Z1 Extreme, meaning you could basically have a longer gaming session here with your battery at a lower power mode. But that plugged in 35 watts, and if you're a couch gamer that's kind of just like always near an outlet, being plugged in is no issue. Performance isn't really that much better, guys. Both handhelds are going to perform well, and at $799, which was what the OG Ally X was when it was priced, that sounds like a freaking dream considering that they raised it to $899, which is like $100 less before this thing came out. And then they discontinued it, and they're basically just selling this for $999, which again, it's why I kind of regret getting rid of my open box that I got for $650. It's a marginal improvement when it comes to frames. It's nothing really that groundbreaking. And where the white OG ROG Ally to the black ROG Ally X felt like a big improvement on everything, on build quality, the buttons, the SD card issues, the thermals, the noise, and even the FPS improvement in games, the ROG Ally X to this Xbox Ally X seems like kind of like a branded refresh that's a little wishy-washy between being a console/PC handheld and more so just a PC handheld with some Xbox branding that's just confusing normies. When it comes to the games, I have an amazing time gaming on this thing. You're getting like 120 FPS on the screen, which includes VRR, meaning low-res games like Hades 2 run like a dream. It's also a Windows device. You could play Battlefield 6 on there, Call of Duty on there. The graphics are great. You get over 60 frames. It's not that smart if you want to be like super competitive on this thing, but if you want just like a quick fix, I mean, even Fortnite, for everyone who had to jump into that whole Simpsons season like me, it ran freaking well. I love Arc Raiders on my PC, but most of my hours, guys, not gonna lie, have been getting just like stabbed in the back and fighting for my life on my Xbox Ally X. The games perform really, really freaking well, and the ultimate test for me was running games like Alan Wake 2 and Silent Hill 2, both struggling on a PC, and you can't run them on the Steam Deck, by the way, at all. I got them running just fine with little tinkering, and for me, coming from PC and needing to make adjustment to graphics, it's not a big deal, man. These are both really, really fun games that I was playing on PC, and I haven't really had the time to finish, and now that I could play them on a freaking handheld, man, I finally have the time to beat them. And for me, that is the biggest selling point. My time is just like strapped, and I can't just be tied down to this desk. So it just feels like, as a new dad, these handhelds are kind of like a must. And I love that I basically have my PC in my hands, and this thing has just run everything I've thrown at it, man. I have not been let down by anything yet. Some people might be let down by the screen size, but for me, 7 inches is no big deal. But yeah, I do wish the black bezels that you'll see around here, man, I'm going to show it in a video, but those bezels, I wish they just like shrunk them or got rid of them. You'd have more screen space. And I'll always want OLED, but 1080p looks nice, man. It's vibrant. It does what it needs to do. The screen is really the one thing that I wish that they did upgrade, considering that they raised the price, but it's not a deal breaker for me, and it might be for you. So to each their own. Another gaming related feature is going to be the vibrate/sleep mode. Suspend is basically here. Thank God. It was my biggest gripe coming from a Switch and a Steam Deck to these ROG Ally devices. Sometimes you just need to freaking turn it off real quick and just jump back in. It is a little finicky. I've had like moments where I try to turn it back on and just nothing happens. The screen just stays black, and I've had to just like reset the whole device. But that's happened like once. It's not perfect like the Steam Deck or the Switch, but it's freaking there, man. Thank God it's there. So to wrap up my thoughts on this confusing ROG Xbox Ally X, As I said earlier, I went in a little negative, man. I didn't want to like this thing, but I've been slowly just obsessed with it. I use it the most. I use it more than my Steam Deck OLED, which has basically become like an indie and emulator station. No shade to the deck at all, man. I love the freaking Steam Deck. I think it's the OG PC handheld, and we really wouldn't be here without it. Am I salty that tariffs or whatever happened increased the freaking price from $799 to $899 on the previous model? Yes, but I will say that if you're in the market for a handheld PC and you want to run like the latest games like Battlefield, well, this is the freaking handheld, man. At least for me so far. I mean, I think it's worth it if you've got the cash. There's another competitor. I think it's called like the Legion Go. Massive OLED screen. It's like $1,300. Haven't tried it yet. I'm a little tempted, not gonna lie. The OLED's kind of a selling point, but I really, really, really like my time with this. And I haven't really had any gripes to where I'm just like, I don't like it, I want to swap it out. If you do have that ROG Ally X, not the Xbox One, unless you're just like a diehard for these handles, right? Like it hurts your hands. I really wouldn't upgrade because I don't think it's that much of an improvement. And it's more so just like a branded refresh with the Microsoft name on there. The new Z2 is better with lower watts, but that's not much of an improvement if you ask me, guys. I think if you can get a good deal on the, prior Ally X on Marketplace, like $500 or so, go for it, man. But if you're new to the handheld space, you want a PC that's kind of portable, this is the one, guys. This is the one. I really just wish it was $799 like the original Ally X instead of $1,000. It would be a no-brainer at $799. I love it. I'm able to basically take my PC anywhere I want and pull up gaming and just like catch up on all my old games. Like I said, it tackles everything I throw at it, and that's the biggest selling point for me. So if you made it this far, guys, drop a like, hit the subscribe button to help out the channel. I have not made a video in a while, man. It was freaking weird getting everything set up. I'm still adjusting to that whole new dad life. Let me know in the comments, by the way, what your plans are when it comes to this thing. Have you bought it? Are you thinking about it? I mean, do you have the Legion Go, right? Do you recommend that? Let me know in the comments, man. I'm really curious to hear from you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.